It was a quiet evening at Raven's Diner, a roadside stop where the hum of motorcycle engines usually mixed with laughter and classic rock. The air smelled of burgers and gasoline, and the leather-clad bikers who filled the booths looked rough to anyone passing by, but those who knew them knew better. They called themselves the Iron Saints, a brotherhood of ex-soldiers, mechanics, and wanderers who'd seen too much of life's darker side. They didn't go looking for trouble, but they never turned away from it, either. That night, as the jukebox played an old Springsteen song, the diner door creaked open. A little boy, no older than 7, stood there, trembling. His face was dirty, his clothes torn, and his eyes, they told a story of fear too deep for his age. The laughter faded. "Hey there, buddy," said Bear, the club's leader, a mountain of a man with a beard as thick as his leather vest. "You lost?" The boy didn't move. He looked around the room, his lip trembling. Then, in the smallest voice, he whispered, "They took my sister." The room went silent. Forks clattered on plates. Bear crouched down, his voice soft but steady. "Who took her, son?" The boy's chin quivered. "A man in a red truck. He said he'd give us food. Then he drove off, with her still inside. That was all it took." Within seconds, chairs screeched back. Boots hit the floor. The Iron Saints didn't ask for names, didn't wait for police, they moved. "Tiny, get the bikes," Bear barked. "Hawk, call it into dispatch. We'll need every road camera from here to Route 12. The diner owner tried to stop them. "Bear, you can't just..." But Bear was already strapping on his helmet. "Lady, when a kid says his sister's in danger, we don't wait for paperwork." Engines roared to life. The boy stood in the doorway, clutching a worn teddy bear, tears streaking his face as the bikers thundered out into the night. They split into pairs, scouring back roads and gas stations. Within minutes, Hawk's radio crackled. "Got a red truck heading west, old Ford, dent on the right side." Bear revved up. "Let's roll." They caught sight of the truck near the outskirts of town, parked behind an abandoned warehouse. The headlights were off, but someone was inside. Bear motioned for silence. The bikers fanned out, moving like ghosts in the dark. Then came a small sound, a whimper. Bear's blood ran cold. He kicked the door open. Inside, the girl sat tied to a chair, sobbing quietly. A greasy man lunged from the shadows with a knife. But Bear was faster. One punch sent the man sprawling. 2 others dragged him outside, while the girl ran straight into Bear's arms. "You're safe now," he murmured. Minutes later, flashing blue lights filled the night. The police took the man away, and the siblings were reunited under the blinking neon glow of a gas station sign. The boy ran to his sister, hugging her so tight she could barely breathe. "I told them you'd come," he whispered. Bear smiled softly. "You've got a brave brother, kiddo." A young officer approached Bear. "You realize you just did half our job for us?" Bear grinned, lighting a cigarette. "Just doing what's right." The next morning, the story hit local news. "Biker Club saves abducted child." The photos showed the Iron Saints lined up behind the kids, helmets under their arms, faces half hidden but hearts wide open. When a reporter asked Bear why they did it, he just said, "Because someone has to." Weeks later, the kid's mother came to the diner. She couldn't stop crying as she hugged every biker in the room. She handed Bear a small envelope. Inside was a child's drawing, a group of bikers with angel wings, standing over 2 smiling kids. In crayon, the boy had written, "The Iron Saints, my angels with engines." Bear pinned it to the wall above the jukebox. No trophy, no medal, just a reminder that kindness doesn't need a badge to be powerful. That night, as the engines rumbled and the sun dipped below the horizon, Bear looked around at his brothers. "Guess we're not such bad guys after all, huh?" he said with a chuckle. Tiny raised his glass. "To the Saints, and to never ignoring a cry for help." They drank, they laughed, and somewhere in the distance, a little boy slept peacefully, knowing that when the world turned dark, there were still people out there who would ride through the night to bring the light back.